about tonight's game, and then we'll open up for questions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Obviously we're disappointed with the outcome. And, we just held them consistently score quarter to quarter. They didn't really have any lulls. And usually, we turn teams over. They only had 6 on the night. So I think not being able to get in transition off of turnovers, which we thrive on, and then just kind of getting to the line, making shots. There was never any drought for them, and we've thrived on that all year. I don't think a team has scored 60 points on us all year. So for them to have that sustained success on defense, on offense against our defense, I think that was the difference in the game.
Joey, what does it say about Burries? I mean, to have 27 at halftime, 44 for the game, only took 22 shots. I mean, against your defense.
Yeah, I think he got going early, getting to the line early. I think that helped. I think he had maybe 4 free throws in the first quarter. And I think he just got into rhythm. He got 2 good looks from 3, drained them both. And then guarding him, you hope he misses those. That's just kind of what you have to do. But he got in a rhythm. Once he did that, he was making shots in transition, getting to the rim in transition, getting to his mid-range. Now he's walking into threes, hitting for that's how you get 44 points on 22 shots.
Can you run through just some of the different things you tried to do to slow him down?
Yeah, we tried face guarding him. We tried different bodies on him. We wanted to, just throw different guys at him, which we've done all year on guys. Different types of defenders, right? Different size and all that. Kirby on 1 foot. We planned on having Kirby on him, but him being on 1 foot, he can only do it for so long. And so, that hurt. That kind of extra body, which we thrived on. That's been our key. We can throw multiple types of defenders at you, but hats off to Burries there. He played phenomenal.
How much is just that first quarter, that the free throw differential was 13-0? How much did that just play into them getting kind of their lead ballooning as the first half?
Yeah, that's what they do. That's their game. I looked before the game, this week, and I think, as part of the scout, I think Burries shot as many free throws all season as our top 3 guys combined. So we knew that they were going to try to get to the line. I thought we were trying to do a good job of walling up and not kind of slapping down, kind of making them make tough pull-ups. But they got to the line. They got to the line off of offensive rebounds and a couple of those plays with Burries on a pull-up. So it's hard to guard when you're fouling jump shooters. And I think we fouled a couple times on a jump shot. So that's tough. We've been really good at that all year, but tonight I think for some reason that they're getting those whistles.
Coach, you've been around a while. You probably played when coached when Aaron Gordon was in the league. Does he sort of rise to that kind of level of a player?
Yeah, he's just more skilled. Aaron Gordon was a force of nature, physical force of nature. But Burries is just more skilled. He can really handle that quick first step, strong enough to bounce a guy off of him and rise up. He's not a very vertical player, but he's so good at decelerating and accelerating, and his body control. That makes it tough. It's a tough matchup.
It's your first NorCal championship, I think, in a couple of decades. The margin of victory in the league, the CCS. What can you say about the mark, the impact this team made at that school?
Oh man, this team is obviously an historic team. We came up short tonight, but we battled. I thought we were trying to fight back. We were taking some blows, but we kept staying in there. And this team, it's been an absolute joy to coach. This team is a coach's dream. I wouldn't trade them for anybody. They're just a tremendous group. They've worked hard every single day. They love each other. You can tell, we're devastated up here. We were really confident going into the game. Sometimes in basketball, just like life, things don't break your way. And this team, though, regardless of the outcome tonight, this is an all-time team. And I don't think anybody should lose sight of that. That's for sure.
Jasir,
Oh, go ahead.
Jasir, to kind of piggyback off what your coach said for you, you're a 4-year guy here. You're one of the leaders of this team. What did just making it this far, winning NorCal, what did it mean to you to kind of leave this mark as a senior?
Obviously, it's not the outcome we wanted, but we made it to the last game. That was our goal through the whole season. We did it. It hurts to lose.
Jerry, what's it gonna take for a team from the north to win one of these games?
Oh man, I think a game like tonight where they don't shoot 91% from the line on 20+ attempts. Like it's got to be a game where a North team hits some threes and the free throws are like maybe not a factor in a sense, like where the game is just a little more free flowing type of game where you could just get up shots. I think when you have the TV timeouts and you have the free throw attempts and the kind of 20+ attempts each, like the game kind of grinds to a halt, and if you have a team like us where it could be a little more free flowing, we try to press a little bit, you saw that. If a game gets like that, I think, you got a shot. But I thought we had a shot. I just think they played great and, we didn't play our best tonight.
It's now been a decade since the NorCal team has done it. You guys played some of the best competition around all year, but it seems like the Southern California teams have an advantage just with the teams they play in their section open in the SoCal Open. How do you try to get ready for that jump?
We play teams. We try to play the best of the best, especially in the summer and the viewing period. We go out, we play in tournaments. Like we play obviously the best up here with Gridley, and then you go down to Torrey Pines and try to play some SoCal teams and teams from across the country, which we did, and we had success with that. I think, honestly, us being beat up, Hillman getting hurt in the second half didn't hurt. We didn't really have a chance to close it maybe and go on a final run without him up in there. Yeah, I think us at full strength, Ryder, wasn't even gonna play tonight, but he sucked it up. He had that bad finger injury on his shooting hand on Tuesday night. To have him and him and Kirby just really didn't practice. They didn't practice all week. They were in a boot. He was in a splint. To take that stuff off and just try to go tonight. That's because they have heart and they didn't want to let their teammates down. So that made it a little tougher. Tonight. But I think the North teams are trying to do a better job of prepping. I think we've done it for sure. Trying to go out there and find top competition. I think they play more games. They start earlier. They have advantages for sure that a lot of the northern sections don't adhere to. But I think even with all that, I felt good about tonight, especially if we were healthy going into it.
Ryder, what has the senior class just meant over this this 4 years, and what has it been like for you taking this ride from a freshman to now?
This is actually my second year reading, but with them it's just the biggest thing. I've been with Ness for 4 years. I prior than here, but I love these men. The boys, man, that's my family. It's the biggest thing.
Joe, you talked about how this team is special. How will you remember this group, everything they accomplished, and what are the emotions with it coming to an end the way it did tonight?
I told them before the game, win or lose, we're gonna remember them just by how enjoyable they were to coach and be around. Day in and day out, we never had a bad day. It was just, like I said, it was a coach's dream. We got to work together every day. We got to work and get better. We got to joke around. We got to eat together. We got to go do stuff. And I think the fact that we never took it for granted. We always had to say we have an attitude of gratitude. I'm grateful to be their coach. These guys inspired me all season, just how hard they work and how dedicated and how consistent they were. That's what makes them special. That's what we'll remember as a coaching staff and everybody, just how great of a kid their character it was. And all season they did it.
Yes, can you just talk about Roosevelt, what a great team they were, how they were different, and then reflecting on just your season and what an experience it was.
First of all, I want to say thank you to all of you guys for for having out here. And secondly, to answer your question, I want to say it's a great team. You know, they made it this far, so it's kudos to them for everything they've done, the preparation, all the different stuff they did to get up here. So kudos to them. And about my teammates, like I said, like Ryder said, this is my family. All the people I met at Riordan. I couldn't have enough good stuff to say about Riordan High School. I can't even, not even the basketball team, but just the community that is around us. People from the dorm, everybody who embraced us. It's just like a mold of people from different cultures, that come together with a dream. And it's beautiful that it shows in basketball, but I want to say it's much more than that. It's much more that goes into this basketball team. I'm very proud of my guys. I'm part of the season. The objective was to practice the last day of the season. That nobody stopped us from practicing to the last day, and I think we accomplished that. And even though the result didn't go our way, I'm proud of our battle. I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud of this team. Thank you.
Jasir, what did it mean to you to put Riordan on the map the way you guys did? And what do you hope to see from this program moving forward?
Sorry, can you read one more time?
Yeah.
Sorry.
What, to put Riordan on the map the way you guys did to win a NorCal title, what did that mean to you, and what do you hope, the guys who are coming back will do moving forward?
I mean, it means everything to me. It was the first time I've been there, or second time I've been there, first time I won it in 4 years. That's every kid's dream, to win the section title and state title too, But we came up short, but it means everything to the North. Like, I got my 15 guys over anybody's 18 guys any night. Tonight, any night. Like, I'm always gonna have their back. They always gonna have my back, regardless. But it means everything to me. I was able to get, after last year, it was a tough loss for me. I feel the same way right now, but it just means everything that I was able to do it for him. He's been with me 4 years. My goal was just to win for him, because he puts me in a situation to win. So I just want to win for him, my peoples, my teammates.
Yeah.
But yeah, it means everything to me for sure.
What is this experience going to do for the guys who are coming back?
Hang your hats high. Have high expectations for yourself for sure. He's going to push you to be the best man you could be on and off the court. So he's going to put you in situations to succeed, and he's expecting you to succeed because he puts you in those situations. So they're going to be back here. They're going to be back here, with me, without me, without our senior class. They got Andrew, they got all these juniors. They're still a stacked team. Like I said, I got my 15 guys over anybody's 18 guys in the country any night. We healthy. I feel like we're going to go out there and win every night, no matter what. That's how we prepare and practice. That's how we go into the game feeling like. So we were confident going into this game. The free throw count is everything, man. When you score and stop the clock, it's hard to beat that. So, but yeah, man, I'm proud of my guys. We made it here, They're gonna be back for sure, and I'm gonna be back to watch. So.
Any more questions?
Yeah, I know you're in the back, but John, I know you were only at Riordan for 2 years technically, but your family is as Riordan as it gets. What did it mean to have such a big role in this playoff run, have everybody here supporting you tonight?
It was a big thing for me, the Tofi last name is, very historical at Brayden, so I try to do whatever my strengths for this team and, keep the Tofi legacy, and within Brayden, so it meant a lot to me, especially with my family coming from everywhere, San Francisco, coming out here just to support me and my team. Came up short as what everyone said, came up short, but I'm very happy for this team, and I wouldn't want to be here with anybody else but this team.